Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday, May 15th, and a little past 6 o'clock. And I'm Derek Dunn. Thanks very much for joining me here as we're going to be doing a preview, an overview of the severe weather potential for Friday, tomorrow, May 16th. So we've had some information being released from the Storm Prediction Center, National Weather Service, and also got a day next week already that is got severe weather already for us. Yeah, early next week. So we're going to focus on Friday tomorrow, and towards the end of this overview, I'll tell you about early next week because some new information has come in about it. So live chat's open, by the way. The Facebook live stream is public, and we're going to go ahead and break down this information. So this is for tomorrow on Friday. As I get the slide up here, this is actually pertaining to, this is what Paducah released just right before 5 o'clock this afternoon. Again, live chat's open if you guys, hi, Mike. Hey, Mike, my former neighbor. Yeah, Mike down in Alabama. Hi, Mike. Tell Tanya and the kids I said hello. Happy birthday to the twins. I know they celebrated a birthday recently, so good to have you on here, Mike. So let's talk about Friday. So this is what Paducah released from the, this again released right before 5 o'clock. So a broad timing window exists starting with the most likely timing between 2 and 10 p.m. So more than one round of storms is possible. A very favorable environment will be in place to support all hazards, very large hail, up to baseball size. And I've got an image of the hail comparison I'll show you guys in a moment. Hurricane force winds 70 plus miles per hour. So in case you're wondering, Cat 1 hurricane wind speed is 74 miles per hour or greater. And tornadoes, and some tornadoes could be strong, EF2 plus, so that would be in a strong category. So EF2, EF3, that is strong. EF4, EF5, that would be in the violent category. Storms may initially form as individual supercells that would pose a higher risk for strong tornadoes and very large hail before transitioning to a line. Now the storm development confidence is high. The timing confidence is medium at this point. So that is what Paducah released. As we take a look here at the threats that Paducah has also released for an area and region. So we talked about the hail probability. And as we take a look here, I'm going to look off screen here and I'll show you what the Storm Prediction Center has mentioned here. So the hail probability be 45%. And again, when you have that hatched area, that would actually be where it's a 10% or greater probability of wind gust. Well, actually, I take it back. The hail would be about, population-wise, about 6.3 million people. So you're looking at St. Louis, Louisville, Kentucky, Evansville, Clarksville, Bloomington, Indiana, and all of Southern Illinois is pretty much in that 45%. What am I looking at? I'm looking at hail. I'm sorry, hail. I was looking at wind, folks. Well, anyway, regardless, for the hail, I think the coffee's wearing off. 30% for the hail probability. So whenever you have hail that would be in the hatched area, you're looking at a greater probability of 2-inch diameter hail or larger within 25 miles of a point. As we take a look at the wind probability in the middle of your screen, you're looking at about 45% of that. So we are talking about the hatched area. Wind gust, 65 knots or greater within 25 miles of a point. And the tornado probability on the right-hand side of your screen there, which would be about 10% in a hatched area. So 10% or greater probability of EF2 to EF5 tornadoes within 25 miles of a point. So as we look at I'll work my way from left to right, hail probability, just a recap for this right here, looking at about 13.4 million people being affected population-wise, major cities, We're talking Indy, St. Louis, Cincinnati, Louisville is what we're talking about. If we're looking at the wind on the center, the wind probability in the center of your screen, St. Louis, Louisville, Evansville, Clarksville, Bloomington, and then the tornado risk, looking at Indy, Cincy, Louisville, Evansville, Cape Girardeau, Paducah, us here in Southern Illinois. So that is what we're looking at here for the severe weather hazards for Friday. I talked about the hail and how the hail could get to about baseball size, and I have some more information about that for you. So as we take a look here, this is the hail size chart from weather.gov. So anything that is an inch or larger, that would be in a severe criteria. So I hope that helps paint a picture for you regarding the hail size comparison. That's why you've seen people submit photos of, like, for example, if you had like a quarter, you compared it to quarter-sized hail that has fallen. We've seen ping pong ball-sized hail, golf ball-sized hail has fallen in our region here in the past. But again, if you look at baseball size, you look at about 2 3/4 of an inch. Softball be 4 inches. I have seen the largest hail size I've seen the National Weather Service crank out in terms of data is actually DVD size, and that would be 5 inches. And so that has happened before, but that's like rare. That's a very rare occurrence, but it has happened. So let's go ahead and shift gears and talk about, go ahead and bring this up into a better picture here for you regarding, what this looks like. Again, this is from the Storm Prediction Center. This is outlining the moderate risk. We were in enhanced risk earlier, but that is now changed to the moderate risk for severe weather. So this is what I was referencing here too. Again, just to kind of show you, as we have tornado, wind, and hail. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to this for a moment, this slide from Paducah earlier, because I was going to mention this information. So this is what the Storm Prediction Center has released. And by the way, guys, this stream will be archived as well. So if you know someone who may have missed out on it and they want to watch it, they're more than welcome to. So here's the information I have about this from the Storm Prediction Center. A significant severe weather outbreak is likely Friday afternoon through Friday night across parts of the middle Mississippi and Ohio valleys. Expect several intense thunderstorms, including supercells capable of producing large hail and tornadoes. Later in the evening and overnight, storms are expected to form into a fast-moving line, increasing the threat for widespread damaging winds and continued tornado risk. The National Weather Service in Paducah currently predicts storms will begin developing in the early afternoon. We talked about the timing of this, and it's up there on your screen, about 2 to 10 p.m. That is what they're currently thinking at this time, though it could be adjusted, but that is their current thinking as of now. An upper-level system will move across the Midwest and Tennessee Valley, bringing strong winds aloft. Forecasts show a 500 millibar jet stream with winds of 80 to 105 miles per hour and mid-level winds around 5,000 to 10,000 feet of 45 to 70 miles per hour by midday. These wind profiles support the development of organized, rotating storms. Favorable wind shear will also extend east into the central Appalachians and parts of the mid-Atlantic. At the surface, low pressure will shift from northern Minnesota into the Great Lakes. A warm front will lift northward from southern Missouri into the Ohio Valley, pulling in very humid air with dew points in the upper 60s to low 70s. This will create a large area of unstable air stretching from East Texas through the Midwest and into the Mid-Atlantic. By midday, conditions will become very unstable, with forecast CAPE values between 2,500 and 3,500 joules per kilogram across southeast Missouri, the I-70 corridor, Indiana, and Kentucky. Storms may begin developing in the early afternoon as warm, moist air rises ahead of an approaching upper-level trough and surface cold front extending from Iowa to Texas. Now, storms that remain isolated may become supercells, capable of producing very large hail, up to 3.5 inches, damaging winds and tornadoes, some of which could be strong. Later in the day, these storms are expected to merge into a squall line that could bring damaging wind gusts over 80 miles per hour. Additional storms are likely to form Friday evening from northern Arkansas into western Tennessee and Kentucky. If they remain isolated, the severe risk continues for all hazards. Now, these may eventually form a line, continue eastward into Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia overnight, though the intensity is expected to gradually decrease after midnight. Let's talk about the CAPE values here for a moment. And so, what does CAPE stand for? CAPE stands for Convective Available Potential Energy. So we talked about the joules per kilogram. So what that means is when you have the higher amounts of the joules per kilogram for CAPE, that means you're talking about the higher the number, the stronger the instability. So for example, I talked about in that report, as I look at my notes here, talked about 2,500 to 3,500 joules per kilogram. So that would be strong instability. That would be in a strong instability. If it exceeded 4,000, that would be considered to be extreme. But in this case here, that would be strong instability in terms of the joules per kilogram. So therefore, we're talking about energy. We're talking about juice that these storms will have in order to get themselves going. So when it comes to tomorrow, we cannot overlook the possibility that you will have storms that form out ahead. So think of it, I talked about this yesterday on the live stream about how you have these little blips of storms. And so storms start off with just a little blip. Oh, it takes a little blip to get themselves going. And before you know it, they're going to blow up. They're going to grow in size. They're going to grow in intensity. So we have to be aware about the possibility of these storms, again, starting to catch on here. So again, as we look here at this moderate risk for severe weather for tomorrow, we could see again possibly 2 rounds of storms. You have the storms that form out, the chance for supercells, the possibility of supercells, and also a line coming in. And notice how I mentioned how it's going to be a fast moving line. So we have seen fast moving lines here in the past. And this is what Paducah is saying. That's what the Storm Prediction Center is saying, is that we have the possibility of a fast moving line moving through. So that is what Friday looks like so far. This is from the National Weather Service in Paducah. We also take a look here at the threats so far. Again, all hazards in play from large hail up to baseball size, hurricane force winds, 70 plus miles per hour for wind. And then we're talking about strong tornadoes, possibly EF2 on up for Friday. So that is what Friday looks like here for tomorrow. So folks, I ask you to please have multiple ways to receive severe weather information and updates. Always be weather aware, always be ready for tomorrow on Friday. But wait, there is another day that we're keeping an eye on for early next week, and I'll show you why that is. So as we take a look here at the Storm Prediction Center, and I know it's days away, but we're looking at Tuesday is what we're looking at. We are looking at Tuesday for this. And so let me go ahead and pull this up here for you. So already for early next week, we're looking at about a 15% chance of severe weather for Tuesday. And I will tell you so far here regarding this, and this is what Paducah has posted for our area. This is what they posted here so far. So additional storms are expected from Sunday night through Wednesday, with severe weather possible, especially on Tuesday. And so that is what they're saying so far. We're still days away from this. But again, if you're looking at the potential for severe weather for early next week, Tuesday is the day for it. And I understand this too, that I also understand that it's postseason for high school baseball and softball, I believe, for next week. And so we could see some delays in terms of the games being played for that week next week. So I know that the schools, I know that the athletic directors, they're keeping an eye on it. I know there's also graduations that are scheduled, I believe, for this Saturday. I think Fairfield is having theirs this Saturday. Weather looks good for Saturday so far. And I will tell you about that here too as we pull up the weather forecast for this weekend. As we take a look here for the Fairfield area weather for this is for tonight. Obviously, we have just a 30% chance of showers and storms. Friday, an 80% chance showers and storms. Again, some of the storms could be severe. High of 86. Friday night, 80% chance showers and storms. Again, some of the storms could be severe. But if you look at Saturday, sunny with a high of 76. So it should be good weather for the graduations. I believe they're indoors. I remember when I graduated from FCHS years ago, we graduated out there on the football field on Mother's Day back in 2007. Sunday, just a slight chance of showers, mostly sunny, high of 78. I know graduations are usually held indoors, but you may have some that are held outdoors as well. So that's a look at the weather forecast for it. But again, notice here as we take a look at early next week, they're calling for showers likely along with some storms on Monday. Tuesday, I talked about the severe weather potential for Tuesday as we're looking at showers and possibly a storm. But again, those details will be updated as the days go by. So again, folks, I can't stress enough about Friday. Have multiple ways to receive severe weather information and updates. Also, tell your friends, tell your family, saying, hey, we have the potential for severe weather for Friday, tomorrow. Keep your eyes to the skies. Keep your eyes on the radars. And again, the timing of these strong to severe storms tomorrow for Friday appears to be, again, that 1 to 2 p.m. through 10 p.m. threshold. So let me see if I'm forgetting anything else here. I know I've mentioned quite a bit here regarding the severe weather potential. And folks, I say this here, I say this just to not only relay you information from the Storm Prediction Center and the National Weather Service in Paducah, but this is also like a heads up saying, this video is more about a heads up, about an overview of what we could likely expect for our area and region tomorrow. And so think of it that way. I'm not instilling fear. I'm not instilling panic. I'm just telling you guys that just to be aware of any severe weather potential. Again, we got to keep an eye on Friday. We can't overlook Friday in terms of the potential for severe weather. So, see here. If there's anyone else that's... Live chat's open, by the way. Moss, I thought you were psychic. I thought you knew. Yeah, I've got a good friend here, Moss, asking about severe weather for Mount Vernon. So let me see here. So Moss, I will tell you so far anyway that it looks like the potential. Let me pull this back up here for a moment here. So that's what it looks like here, Moss. That's a graphic from the National Weather Service in Paducah. So you're asking approximately what time for Mount Vernon. Let me check something real quick here. So I will tell you this, though, Moss. It looks like, again, to be 2 to 10 p.m. It depends when the storms form. This is what it says here. And again, okay, so there could be some athletic events too. Yeah, there is some baseball and softball games going on. Okay. So Moss, this is what the National Weather Service is saying here. Forecast of storms will develop likely in the afternoon. So again, 2 to 10 p.m. Most significant activity occurring after 5. But again, it depends when the storms form. It depends when they get going. So I hope that helps here in terms of the timing for you. But again, it depends when the storms fire up. But at least the 2 to 10 p.m. window, it's there. I know it's kind of a wide range. but I would certainly be within that time frame, be keeping an eye on the storm. So 2 to 10. I saw Paducah post earlier about 1 o'clock is 1 to 2 in that neighborhood. So I don't even know what you mean. You can't even see that. Well, Moss, my good friend. I'm guessing you mean the infographic. So I hope I hope me talking helps audio wise. Yeah, I was gonna say this is again, this is where you have regular season wrapping up. This is also where you have postseason looming large for high school baseball and softball. And with the weather for next week, with the rain and storm chances, could be some delays, could be some postponements with that. But I know that the schools will be keeping an eye on things and the ADs because it's going to be there's going to be a lot of shuffling around, possibly. So, but Saturday looks good. Sunday, just a slight chance of rain. But again, that's what I'm seeing here. Let me pull up the weather here for a moment. And let me go ahead and I'm going to try to do this. Let me do this off screen real quick. Give me a moment here. Let me do this off screen. Well, I thought I had it maybe. Let's try this again. Okay, so I kind of made it to be a little bit better. So that is the Fairfield area weather for starting off today, tonight, rather, into Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And let me go down here a little bit. Let me take myself off of here for a moment. Let me see here. Give me a moment here as I do this. So I'm going to disappear for a little bit. So that is what the forecast is showing. And let me scroll down to Friday. We'll have Friday be at the top. Friday night, rather. We'll go with Friday. You can actually see why I'm saying for Tuesday appears to be, following Friday appears to be our next chance for severe weather, and they're giving it for a 15% chance of that. Moss, I hope that helps, buddy. Good to hear from you. I hope it does. Jennifer asking anything tonight in Fairfield. That's a good question. Let's go ahead and pull up the radar here for that. Give me a moment here as I transition. Technology, give me a moment here. Let me minimize this. If they'll let me. Okay, I'll have to close out. If you guys have any questions, post it in the live chat. This is just an overview. Let me show you here. And let me put myself up here. Okay, so here's the radar right now. So far, it has been quiet. I had a friend who texted me earlier about sprinkles in the Boylston area. So as we zoom down here, we got a little shower just to the west of Springerton. Nothing major. This is from the Evansville radar site. We do have some rain and storms. Rain, moderate to heavy rain at times down there in the Paducah area. So they're getting some rain right now. And folks, I will tell you this. I think about the farmers quite a bit right now because I've talked to some farmers here locally and they have been trying to get out into the fields. They've been trying to get out in the fields and it has been a wet spring for them. Agriculture is a big economic engine here locally across the region, even the state. Obviously, it could rain in the northern part of Illinois. It could be sunny down here. I get that. But the farmers, they have had a late start to the planting season. So if there are people that you need to think of, it's the farmers. Jennifer, I will tell you this. We got some stores up there in Springfield, northern Illinois. Wisconsin getting rocked right now. I know we have some Green Bay Packer fans that watch the live stream. This is the Green Bay radar site. Sheboygan, that tornado warning storm approaching Sheboygan. Stevens Point, getting rocked with some tornadoes up there. A lot of radar indicated tornado warnings up there. There was an observed tornado up there earlier. As we kind of take a look here as we're going up and down, kind of going around the horn a little bit. There was a tornado warning for Minnesota. northern part of Minnesota. But Milwaukee, about to get hit with a storm. We have a storm in the area, but Sheboygan, Oshkosh, getting stormed upon right now. Stevens Point. So Wisconsin, pretty much getting rocked again, as I mentioned, by severe storms. They do have some storms that have formed over in Springfield, Illinois. Got that pulled up on radar. We are starting to see some development as I take a look here. Starting to see some development over here. So that may extend into the St. Louis area possibly, but it depends on if it does form. But as for the Evansville area, been relatively quiet here for Wayne County. We've had, again, some few sprinkles, some few light rain showers. Jennifer, I hope that answers your question, by the way. Whoops. So here's the live chat. I'll hang out with you guys here. What time is it? 6:30. Hang out with you guys here for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and get off of here and do some things. I haven't ate yet, by the way. I need to eat something. So, but that is what it looks like here. I'm going to pull this back up for tomorrow, since we had some people kind of arrive late to the stream. By the way, you guys can share the stream. It is public, by the way. So if you know someone who needs to know this information, appreciate you guys watching, by the way. In terms of severe weather coverage tomorrow, it will be at least after 4:00 for me. But in terms of my Facebook page, I will be posting updates on there whenever I have a chance. Work is my priority, though. But if there's like a break in the action, I will post some updates on there. So just keep an eye out for that. And then also, here's the threats for tomorrow as well for Friday, with the hail probability, wind probability, tornado probability. So as you can see, again, hazard up to baseball-sized hail. So get damage to vehicles, homes, property, significant agricultural damage possible, injury to those caught outside. Wind probability, again, hurricane force winds 70 plus miles per hour. The potential impacts for that: tree damage likely, power line damage possible, minor shingle damage possible, outdoor furniture and loose objects blowing around, crop damage is possible, then strong tornadoes possible, EF2 and greater, potential impacts, property damage, or destruction. So, but those are the severe weather hazards for Friday. Our next chance of severe weather following Friday is Tuesday of next week, the way it looks. Still waiting on some details about that. But I will tell you that is what the Storm Prediction Center is saying so far. In fact, they do have a 15% chance for severe weather for us for Tuesday of next week. So we'll see here regarding updates what that shows. I see Coach Marty Slover's watching. Hi, Coach. Coach Marty Slover, he's still pitching like Nolan Ryan did years ago. He is still going to the baseball field and using his big old golden arm. Coach Slover's probably going to text me and be like, "Hey, dude, seriously?" Anyway. But guys, again, have multiple ways to receive severe weather information, updates and information. I want to go ahead and pop up here some tips here for you regarding severe weather safety here, severe storm safety. So again, just some reminders here as we gear up for tomorrow on Friday. Severe thunderstorm safety again. We talked about the chance, again, the possibility of strong tornadoes. And so we do have some tornado sheltering guidelines as well. From your worst options, bad options, good options, and best options. I do know that there was some businesses, there was some organizations that had shelters open for those who were not able to, there's people out there who just do not have a place to go for shelter. I know there was some businesses and organizations that had the doors open. So We could see that tomorrow. Also, weather preparedness kit, always important as well. I'll be doing mine tonight. Coach Slover said, the arm is gone. I'm sorry, Coach Slover. Thanks, Coach. Good to hear from you. The arm is gone. Well, I thought the arm was still active and alive and golden. So I love Coach Slover. He's Coach Marty Slover. What a positive influence and role model. He's made a big positive impact in my life. I'm forever grateful to Coach. So we have that. Also, we have tornadoes and road safety. I know that there's going to be, I think about the truckers that are traveling on the highways. Think about those that are out there in the interstates. Think about the farmers out there in the fields. Those also, oil, petroleum, a big industry here too. People checking up on the oil derricks around here locally. So just some tornadoes and road safety tips here. Also about the tornado sirens again, just want to debunk some siren myths here for you. As well here, if you live near a siren, you may or may not be able to hear it. But obviously the sirens, if you haven't been outdoors, are there to alert you about severe weather. Also, we talked about, again, the tornado potential, EF2 or greater, so some nighttime severe weather safety tips as well. I know some people may have to go to bed at least early, at least tomorrow. So again, nighttime severe weather. One thing about severe weather of a nighttime is that visibility drops. So again, tornadoes may be difficult to see at night. Also, if we do have any flooding as a result, flooded roadways could be difficult to see at night as well. Also, nowhere to go when sheltering from a tornado. And guys, I'm showing you guys this because I care about you guys and want you guys to be ready and prepared in advance. And that's what this live stream is about. That's what this overview is about. It's about telling you guys, what could potentially happen tomorrow. It's for you guys to gain insight into the latest weather situation. Let me see here if there's anything else that I have not popped up yet. Okay. Also, talked about the EF2 or greater chance of tornadoes. This is the enhanced Fujita scale. So it goes from EF2, which would be 111 miles per hour, 111 to 135 EF2, EF3, 136 to 165, EF4, 166 to 200, EF5 greater than 200. But again, for tornado-wise, tornado potential, EF2 on up is what the National Weather Service and Storm Prediction Center is saying at this point. There's the potential for that. I use that word strongly, potential for EF2 tornadoes on up. Let me see here if there's anything else. But guys, again, severe weather potential for Friday, tomorrow. And again, this video, I hope that I helped shed some light on the situation for you regarding the severe weather potential for Friday, tomorrow. Again, this information is from the Storm Prediction Center, the National Weather Service. So keep an eye on my personal Facebook page. We'll be posting updates on there. Again, just whenever I have an opportunity to. I'll be busy tomorrow, but we'll do my best, though, to keep you guys informed on there. There's a live stream coverage. Probably see me on here sometime after 4 o'clock. And again, the timing of this event, I know that a lot of people, I know there's some athletic events going on. I know my buddy Moss talked about softball tomorrow. Wayne City at Weber, for example, being one of them. And so, again, 2 to 10 p.m. is what Paducah is saying. I did see on their chat earlier, they said 1 o'clock, but possibly 1, 2 o'clock in that range, and 10. So that is the timing of when we could expect the possibility of strong to severe storms for tomorrow. And again, I'll run this by here. I'll run this by again, the severe weather threats one more time for tomorrow on Friday. So there is the hail probability, the wind probability, and the tornado probability for tomorrow. So, all right, guys. Well, have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Always be weather aware. Always be prepared. And again, have multiple ways to receive information locally. Think about social media, radio, TV. Just have multiple ways to receive updates and information, because I tell you what, guys, I go back to April 21st, 2002, when we had advance warning of that tornado coming in. Those of you who are longtime residents of Fairfield, Wayne County, remember that storm. My folks and I took shelter, and it was thanks to advance warning that we were able to take shelter. And so, guys, I can't stress this enough. Be weather aware tomorrow. Be ready. Be prepared. And as always, be alert for changing weather conditions. That is all I have here for you. Have a wonderful and pleasant Thursday. And see you tomorrow here on Friday. I will be keeping an eye on the radar for Thursday. We do have some storms that are forming to the northwest of us. They're moving in northeasterly fashion. They're starting to extend into St. Louis right now. Keep an eye on that. We do have some rain down in the south. No severe weather in our area at this time. We'll keep an eye on that here for you. In the meantime, guys, have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, and possibly see you here tomorrow on Friday. So, till then, so long.